All right, so we are back, and we are officially 30 days away from Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. That's right, the brother of the heavyweight champion of the world versus the man that says he is the best thing to happen to boxing in the last century.
I'm the best thing that's happened to boxing in a century. Period.
And with that being said, we are going to start doing our breakdown series for this fight, making sure I can get any and all footage and break it down for you guys, and that's what we have today. Tommy Fury sparring footage. We've seen Tommy run through mailmen and mechanics, and he beat Anthony Taylor in his first boxing fight, but he's not boxed a guy that is a prospect, a blue chip, a guy that's decorated as an amateur and is looking to come in and win world titles. But the guy he's sparring in this video is. So we're gonna get some answers. But before we do, guys, make sure you're subscribed here at the W.A.D.E Concept. I'm telling you guys now, you do not want to miss out on any of this content we have coming for the rest of the month. So hit that sub button and enjoy the show. Tommy Fury sparring footage, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so let's take a look at this. Tommy is in the white. I know the picture is not the best. You have been stimulated with pixelation. I get it. It looks like it's been drawn on Microsoft Paint. Like I said, Tommy is sparring a blue chipper here, right? This is Andrei Mangushev or Mangushev. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name. So what we see already though, right? We see a lot of the hand feints from Tommy, a lot of the parrying, right? Just showing him different looks, rolling the shoulder over. We like that. Trying to parry the jab. I do like Tommy's movement, right? I like him coming in and out of range. I just sometimes think he gets a little out of control and maybe a little flat-footed when he's in range, like in this instance right here, right? You don't want to get caught flat-footed in there with a guy that, again, has a longer reach. This is not something that Tommy's going to see necessarily in the fight with Jake because Jake's not 6'7". They're somewhat evenly sized, but you don't want to get caught flat-footed in the pocket with a guy that's still yet to unload his big power shot. Tommy kind of does right here. He gets caught in the phone booth. He tries to lean out, but again, he's closed this distance, and Tommy is just ripe for the picking here. He's trying to throw up that chicken wing, somewhat of a modified Philly shell, taking this drop step to kind of spin out, but he's not quite where he needs to be there. You see Tommy trying to roll those shoulders over, right? Slip different shots, give different looks, a little bit of a low feint, gets caught with that jab. Still moving, though. But you notice Andre is starting to pick up on the fact that Tommy only slips down to his right, outside of the jab, right? That's the only place he slipped so far. So watch this. This is again, a veteran boxer. He's going to start throwing feints and then come around the outside with that hook, right? As Tommy looks to parry, here comes the left hook around, and Tommy doesn't quite get hit with that, but again, leans kind of down into it, right? We heard Sensei talk a little bit about this, right? Not being predictable, having different attacks, not just throwing in 1- and 2-punch combos. And it does come off a little bit of the head movement he's showing, but it has to be variable. It can't be predictable, just slipping outside, slipping outside, slipping outside, because Jake does like to throw his check left hook. He throws it a ton. I want to see a little bit more variety to get to where he wants to be to throw those big time shots. Hey, there we are. Tommy finds his spot right here. He's going to draw out the right hand. We pull on that, and he's already cocked and loaded, ready to throw this one down. Boom, and bang. That one gets straight through, lands. That's a great shot from Tommy. If we know anything about Tommy, he is throwing to hurt. Those things are not meant to just touch you. He's trying to make Jake see stars all around him like he was working for Disney Channel again. That right hand is meant to obliterate. But also, another thing we have to talk about is, yes, Tommy gets hit with a little check hook there, and Jake does like his check left hook as he goes backward, as he's being pressured. At this stage in their careers, and because they are a little bit bigger guys, these things are going to happen. To come into range like that, you're going to have to risk it for the biscuit just a little bit. So yes, there are instances where Tommy should be a bit more safe and cautious, but anytime you initiate forward action, you have to understand there is a risk involved, and Tommy looks like he's willing to take that risk. So we see Tommy again looking to parry that jab with his right hand. Parrying it, but it seems like he's being set up here because of that big parry. Like, when Tommy is parrying, right, he's not keeping that guard high. He's really reaching here. It's almost like Pandora's box being opened up because now, again, an experienced boxer like Andre is going to see that. But this is nice. That's nice. He's going to rake and throw the shot to the body. It lands solid right on the ribs. It's a good shot. He eats the little pawing, kind of slappy left hook from Andre here. It's not going to damage him too much, but again, this was part of what Tommy ate coming in against Anthony Taylor. He would get to where he could throw big time shots, but Anthony Taylor would step to him. And then closing that distance, Tommy is overthrowing and overreaching. In this case, he does a good job of managing that distance, throwing the shot he wants and landing it clean. Oh, you see this? Look at this. Andre's made the read, right? So Tommy has continued with this backhand to parry, right? Or want to when Andre throws his jab. So here we see feint coming, parry, but it's not there, right? He tries to parry and swipe away. Andre's throwing the feint, tries to get to the hook. Tommy makes a good read, gets out of range. The right hand behind it doesn't land. But that's a nice little chess game between the two of them. Tommy anticipates the right hand first, which is why he parries with his lead. But then here comes the jab feint. Tommy bites. But now Tommy understands I'm in a bad position. Let me skate out of range here. Here comes the hook or maybe the frame for the right hand. Doesn't quite get there. It's good by both guys there. I like this little feint he gives. Even if Andre sees it and pops the jab out to kind of stop that momentum, Tommy wants to come in right here, right? In the Anthony Taylor fight, this would have been a forward attack. No doubt about it. No one's stopping him from coming forward. He would have absolutely bulldozed his way into range. But here, the jab comes out and it stops him, and that's fine. But he doesn't just run into it and then try to keep moving forward, popping the jab, and then maybe the big overhand right. And while he's doing that, his opponent slips and throws a big shot. Instead, we reset, get back to it. That's fine. You're not always going to get into range every time you feint your way in. And in those moments, you have to keep your composure. That's something that, again, this is easy to do when you're in a squared circle with no one around and it's just Sugar Hill telling you, you know, work on this, work on that. But on that big stage, how does that affect the mindset of a guy like Tommy Fury? In that instance right there, he shows, yes, he has the ability to take a little bit off the gas, come back, reset, then go forward, not just boom, boom, boom every single time and just trying to knock that door down with brute force. That's not going to get it done in this fight. He is going to have to be a thinking man in there. Like I said, we see Tommy. Head movement's nice. Whereas before, Andre could anticipate where that head was going, right? He was always going to slip outside the jab every time, slipping outside, slipping outside. He can still slip outside, but you have to give the window dressing that I'm not always going to do it. Like, I can slip inside too, bang the uppercut off of it, step in left hook, whatever it is, right hand to the body. But if you don't ever show that, if you don't ever give him an idea as to, okay, he has other ways to slip this jab, he's going to anticipate it and start throwing his jab where you're slipping to, right? He's going to throw that jab to the body knowing your head's going to come down to that level. Tommy starts giving him different looks, outside, inside. And now Andre tries to target that inside head movement, and look at what Tommy gets in response. He slips the jab. How about that? All right, so all in all, in my opinion, Tommy looks pretty good there. And you might go, Wade, we're not seeing it. That's a minute of footage. We don't really see a lot. Tommy lands some good shots, but it's not an indicator of how he's going to look on fight night. I agree, but not every sparring is supposed to be that. Right there, they're probably working on specific things like Tommy using his head movement, trying to slip inside and outside of shots and counter off of it. With Sugar Hill in that corner, it's encouraging to see Tommy doing things a bit differently. He is a little more patient. He is a little bit more on balance, forward and backward. I do think Tommy is very confident in his power, and I think his whole camp is. They have, for whatever reason, multiple guys in that camp saying Tommy's power is dangerous. He's got put away power, right? He's not just going to hit you and it's going to be thudding. He can put you away with it. So, of course, if you're Jake Paul in this camp, you have to be aware of that. And I'm sure they are. He's got a great group as far as like the boxing mind of DJ Flores and Jalen Love. This is going to be, I think, and I've stood by this since it was announced, a competitive fight. People are either all in Tommy's camp saying Jake is not ever going to beat a legitimate boxer, or people are all in Jake's camp saying Tommy's going to choke under the lights. I think we can take some things away from this, not everything, because the opponent he's sparring is not the same look that Jake's going to give him. But I still think there's encouraging things here for Tommy and some things he needs to work on. So my kind of end-off thoughts here, Tommy Fury sparring footage, he looks better. He has some improvements in small little instances. And I don't know if that's just due to the fact that there's not a crowd and he's in the sparring room, and that sometimes is a big factor, not having to do it in front of everyone. Sometimes your best rounds are left in the sparring room. But can he do it on December 18th in front of thousands in attendance and millions worldwide in the main event? I guess we'll find out.